We begin on the college basketball hardwood where my bracket is long extinguished. Thank you, UMBC, for becoming the first 16 seed on the men's side to knock off a #1. Down went Virginia, my eventual national champion, far earlier than I could have ever expected. But thankfully, I wasn't the only one. That upset pretty much destroyed every single bracket in the country. Cavs fan or not, Michigan State, a trendy pick, followed suit, as did North Carolina. Only my boys from the Big East, Villanova, are still alive in my Final Four, and of course, I didn't have them repeating this year. Oh well. If March Madness has educated us once again this spring, it's that miracles do happen. Look no further than number 11 seed Loyola Chicago behind #1 fan sister Jean Dolores Schmidt. The Ramblers pulled out a heart-pounding 69-68 final in the year of the Cinderella. Talk about heavenly inspiration. A team that hadn't even qualified for the NCAA tournament since 1985 now sits 40 skinny minutes against fellow upstart and #9 seed Kansas State after K-State pulled a surprise of its own against Kentucky 61-58 from going to the Final Four. If you're keeping tabs, there's Kansas Clemson, West Virginia Nova, Purdue Texas Tech, and of course, that one New York team that I doubt anyone expected to be doing what it's doing. Iona fell to Duke, but maybe Syracuse can continue to wear that Cinderella slipper. Here's more as we go from the Sweet 16 to the Elite Eight. Jim Boeheim's 2-3 zone has made a statement this March. The last time these two teams met 1 month ago, the final was 66-44 Duke. Michigan and Florida State rolled into the Elite Eight. Michigan dismantled Texas A&M 99-72, while Florida State toppled Gonzaga 75-60. In other college hoops news, Rhode Island's Dan Hurley took URI deep into the NCAA tournament and now will be the new head coach for UConn. The last 2 years at URI, he was terrific. Now he'll have a chance to bring the Huskies back to national prominence. He leaves URI for Storrs, Connecticut. And how about one former Husky, the Bronx's own Kimble Walker? Last night, he was locked in. The Charlotte Hornets star poured in a game-high 46 in only 3 quarters. One night after teammate Dwight Howard registered 32 points and 30 rebounds in a win over Brooklyn, Walker made history in his own right. His outburst occurred in only 28 minutes, which is the fewest minutes a player has needed to score 45 or more points since the advent of the shot clock in 1954-55, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Kimba now has more 30-point games than anyone else in Hornets history, surpassing former All-Star Glenn Rice. Walker has done it 55 times. The 27-year-old has been a bright spot in a down season for Charlotte. I would still love to see the Knicks try and get Kimba at some point. It looks like the orange and blue could be in position to acquire another explosive guard when the NBA draft unfolds in June. Oklahoma star Trae Young has declared for the draft, and he's expected to go in that 8-9 range where the Knicks are currently slated to pick. Young told ESPN's First Take, "If I'm able to get drafted by the New York Knicks, it would be a blessing." Being in the basketball mecca, that's one of the biggest markets in the NBA league, if not the biggest. I feel like what I went through all this year with all the media, the criticism, the ups and downs, I feel like that prepared me for this situation like this, and I'd be able to handle it. I think I'd be ready. If I'm blessed enough to be able to play in New York City, I would be honored, and I would be willing to get to work and help that franchise win. The Knicks, who drafted guard Frank Ntilikina with the 8th pick last June, are currently projected to select 9th in the 2018 draft. From the NFL, Giants GM Dave Gettleman means business. He is trading away everyone from Big Blue. Thursday, it was Jason Pierre-Paul. Pierre-Paul is joining a revamped defensive line in Tampa Bay as the Bucs acquired the veteran defensive end and a 4th-round pick from the Giants in exchange for 2 picks. While Pierre-Paul would have had a $17.5 million salary cap charge in 18 with the Giants, the Bucs salary cap charge is only $12.5 million. The G-men appear to be leaning toward Penn State running back Saquon Barkley if they don't fall for another QB or draft North Carolina defensive end Bradley Chubb. But all things are possible. The Jets have been wheeling and dealing themselves. They traded up from number 6 to number 3 in the draft and also signed wide receiver Terrell Pryor on Thursday. The Jets' We Need a Quarterback tour will remain in Los Angeles. They did yesterday for a private workout with UCLA's Josh Rosen. Team brass also attended Sam Darnold's pro day at USC. Today, the tour moves to Wyoming for Josh Allen's pro day, followed by a Saturday stop in Oklahoma for a private workout with Baker Mayfield. From the sounds of it, Darnold is going number 1 to the Cleveland Browns. Teddy Bridgewater claimed he's still capable of performing at a high level and will embrace a crowded Jets quarterback situation. And speaking to the New York media for the first time since signing a contract with the Jets, rookie QBs weren't the only ones tossing passes for NFL scouts this week. Former Heisman winner Johnny Manziel threw to receivers at the University of San Diego's pro day on Thursday. 13 NFL teams had scouts in attendance. Scouts from those 13 teams were there to watch Manziel throw. The Browns, New England Patriots, Chicago Bears, Los Angeles Chargers, the New York Giants, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Jets, the Oakland Raiders, the Tennessee Titans, the Detroit Lions, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Carolina, and Tampa Bay were all represented. From the baseball diamond, Rafael Montero's season is likely over as the Mets right-hander has suffered a complete tear of his UCL and will probably need Tommy John surgery. The Mets officially open at Citi Field next Thursday. They'll face the St. Louis Cardinals. Aaron Boone considered Jordan Montgomery's pitch-efficient 6-inning, 61-pitch outing a good one on Thursday. He said it was a good step as Montgomery gets ready to start New York's home opener April 2nd. The Bronx Bombers open their season in Toronto next week before coming home. Reigning National League MVP John Carlos Stanton said he has calibrated his expectations for the magnified nature of performing well or poorly in the Big Apple. MLB is working to finalize a Yankees Red Sox Series in London in 2019. That would be the league's first regular season games in Europe, the Associated Press reported. In the UFC, Dana White said this week that we won't see Demetrius Johnson against TJ Dillashaw. White said the fight was never concrete and that TJ is currently injured. Legendary boxer Floyd Mayweather is reportedly working out in the octagon. I would expect to see Mayweather-McGregor resurface here, this time as an MMA fight. In racing, the F1 season will open this Sunday in Australia. You can watch on ESPN2 at 1 a.m. We hit the C-list for an exclusive interview with Max Pearce, the dark horse of next week's NCAA Slam Dunk Championship. The fans of the Bronx, New York City, and all across the country have spoken, and Tuckahoe, New York's Max Pearce is the winner of the Dark Horse Dunker. He's heading to the State Farm Slam Dunk Championships in San Antonio, Texas next week, and he joins us on the show. Max, thank you so much for taking the time. So excited for you. A standout at Purchase College in Purchase, New York. How does this feel? Talk about the experience and what you're looking forward to.
It feels great. You know, it was kind of eye-opening to see the network of support that I really had. I didn't think it runs that deep, and you know, I'm proud of everyone that, you know, stepped out and pretty much shared the link and helped vote when I didn't think they were going to do that. So yeah, now it's time to prepare and just try to do my best to represent everyone that supported.
So Intersport, which also works with ESPN, every year what they do is they have a Dark Horse Dunker competition, which is an online media contest that puts together 16 Dark Horse Dunkers, basically guys that you may never have heard of. You get to be one of them. Which one was the one that probably scared you the most?
Easily the semifinal round. We only won by 0.8% or something like that. And we didn't get that until 42 minutes left or something like that, so we were just trying to hold on.
Max, you've drawn a lot of inspiration from some of the game's best dunkers. I know that you've talked about guys like Vince Carter and Nate Robinson. Is there one guy that you lean more towards?
Vince definitely inspired me first. He was the one that I was watching YouTube videos. I would literally go, rain or shine, I would go outside to my backyard and try to do every single dunk that I could remember him doing. I remember exactly where I was when Nate won his first contest. They both have a huge impact on my passion for dunking the basketball.
Right now on the show, we wanted to take a quick pause in the action to check out this video of Max and some of the stuff that he can do with a basketball in hand. This is as big as it gets for Purchase College, a state university of New York school, to be on the national stage on ESPN2 Live, to have a representative again amongst all of these other Division I guys.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I've been trying to do that for about a week now, almost a week. But I'm excited because, again, this has been my dream. And, you know, now that it's coming true, it's not time to shy away from it. And, you know, I want to try and get a win for everyone.
I think the fans at home will be rooting for you in San Antonio because you are not only the dark horse and the underdog, but you're a really well-rounded young man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll be in San Antonio. You can tune in Thursday Night Live on ESPN2 at 9 p.m. Good luck to Max. We'll be back with more Open after this. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.